And I am from Letcher County. Sorry, I forgot to hit snooze. And I am a preschool teacher along with Miss Melissa, and we work at West Whitesburg Elementary School, and we are a state-funded school. We're not blended with Head Start. And I got it. No need for technology. I'm good at that. Just kidding. The name of my project was Project Promethean. And my action research question was, how can the use of Promethean board increase preschool students' knowledge in letter recognition? And we all know, teaching in preschool, that is a very big standard that I think doesn't align. IECE standards do not align with the Common Core standards for kindergarten, and that was another way I found that I wanted to. What? Oh, I got it. Anyways, I found that throughout the years that a lot of times preschool kids do not like to sit down and do paper pencil work. They do not learn that way a lot of times. So I wanted to integrate something different. So I got the Promethean board in hopes that they would love, working, thinking they were playing school, or Miss Stacy and Mr. Isaac's little girl caught on really fast. She loved it. She was Miss Katrina. She was teaching up on the Promethean board using her finger and pointing, and I was like, hey, that's learning right here. So that was just a little glimpse of why I wanted this board. But the project summary proposal, basically, I'll run through it. I have it on the PowerPoint. Many issues facing preschool classrooms is finding age-appropriate materials for them to learn. I already said that the IEC standards require students to engage with hands-on interactive learning. Of course, you all know IECE, we're not allowed to use pencil paper stuff, so we have to be creative and learn to teach these students in ways that are not pencil paper. The use of Promethean Active Board will it allowed me to effectively engage students in whole group. So I used this board when I was teaching whole group, old school carpet time. We was all sitting down, teaching, talking. And then I also used it during my centers, and that was also a center time that I used during technology. So I allowed them to work in groups of 2 or 3, working on writing their name, letter identification, like a uppercase to lowercase matching. And I just said students will actively use the board to interact in various apps and software, and it will engage preschool students in kindergarten readiness skills. Basically, I just took what the board I had, and this right here is everything summed up of what I just talked about. It just kind of shows you that we went from the chalkboard to the whiteboard to the Promethean board. It's all in one. And then I just went through some things that teachers find it hard in classrooms to find age appropriate. I already went over that. And the IECE standards also encourage students to address various learning in various learning styles, which is visual, tactile, kinesthetic, and auditory. I just kind of went over like when the chalkboard was established, when the whiteboard was established, and what exactly is the Promethean board. The Promethean board was brought in the 21st century to motivate learning, improving students' achievement through technology. Raise your hand if you have a whiteboard Promethean board in your room. It's the same thing as a smart board. Same thing, yeah. The early childhood standard and benchmark that I was trying to cover would be the area of development and literacy. And it's Objective 16, and it demonstrates knowledge of the alphabet, identifies and names letters. And the standards that I benchmarked with was the Teaching Strategies Gold. This is also the Kindergarten Common Standard that I kind of parallel with the IECE standards, and basically this is the same thing: reading, recognize and name all uppercase and lowercase letters of the alphabet. But we always know that 3-year-olds are not going to know all their uppercase and lowercase letters, and we know that 4-year-olds are not going to know all their uppercase and lowercase letters. Do I have some in my room? Yes. Is it the norm? No. And it's all I can do to I have been really pushing this last little bit. I'm like, we got to learn their letters, because I feel like if we do not prepare preschool students, they are not ready for kindergarten. This is the rules that I use for the Promethean board, and we all know that when we bring something new into the classroom with our preschool students, we have to go over rules and routines and rituals like every day, all day, and finally it clicks after about a month. So, basically the smart board rules, what to use, what not to use, don't touch the board when you're not using it, take turns. I use this, and there's another one for an iPad that I found on teaching strategy. Teachers Pay Teachers, and I just laminate it for the kids to, and they can look at it and tell you on the picture of what the rules are. This is a picture of just my little kids. I put in the background my Promethean board, and then I wanted you all to see their sweet little cute faces on there. And this is also me and the students. I kind of went over, and I kind of went further into Starfall, just not into letters. Like, there's the little books, like the sight word reader books. And so now the kids, if we do it in whole group, now they know, like, when to touch this. Believe it or not, some of the kids, have never been on it at home. Starfall, ABC Mouse. And I noticed that those were the two things that the kids really liked, and that was the two things that were free, that they really, so I kind of kept going with that theme because the kids really enjoyed using that, because we all know when kids get familiar with something that they take interest in it. And this is the letter, and so when we were doing this, the word matching to the word families, as you can see, they caught on to the little pen. They have to use their pen to pull it over, and then we went over the sounds and the letters. There's another picture of the S that we were going over, the letter S. This is the checklist that I used. Basically, this is what I use for my data during the year. We check it 3 or 4, and we also use this for Teaching Strategies Gold, but this is just something I got to have in my hand. Of the checklist of the uppercase and lowercase letters. This is the data that I use, and if you're all like me, I love visuals. I love seeing what these students knew. So I took the data from the beginning of the year. I did not get my Promethean board until, it was right before Christmas maybe, or right after Christmas. I can't remember. All that snow, it was right after the snow. But I took my data at the beginning of the year, and then I took my data in March, I think. And this, as you can see, I wanted you to make sure that you understood that students, these are all the students 1 through 20. Students 1, 2, 6, 8, 10, 11, 15, 16, and 9 are all 97s. If you all preschool teachers know that 97 means you're 3 years old. That means that you could have turned 4 within the year, but you're 3 years old when you start preschool. So that means they can come back next year. There was a 19.5% growth in preschool students when implementing the Promethean board. Basically, we all know that technology can only be used 15 minutes per day per child. That is the IEC standards. They're only allowed to use it for 15 minutes at a time. And you can see that a lot of the kids made growth. I mean, even if it was just a little growth, it was my babies, my babies, but I call them my babies, but you can see there was growth on everything except there was one student, 18, made no growth, but that just means that they knew like 2%, and I think too that student did not attend school regularly. So, but I was pretty impressed by 19.5. I'll take that growth. The overall Promethean project summary, here it is. It just says with the ARI Innovation Grant, I purchased the Promethean board. I use 20 students. I use my AM students. So I have AM and a PM group. I use my AM students in the morning, and they all range from 3 to 5 years old, and they all are identified with an IEP or at risk. So these are all students from rural area, of course, and they have to have an IEP or from low income if they're 4. Basically, the Promethean board engaged students in whole group and small group differentiated instruction to learn their letters, and we utilize Starfall, ABC Mouse. I use those because those are most familiar with students. And I have 2 minutes left, and this project, students did gain proficiency in letter recognition. And does anybody have any questions? No? All right. Thank you.